Hey, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into what looks like a tiny change from Bank, but trust me, it has a huge impact on your digital safety. It's all about a few letters at the end of a web address, but as you're about to see, this is a total game changer. So let's start with the feeling I bet we've all had. You get that email, or maybe a text message, with a link from your bank, and something just feels off. You pause, right? You get that split second of panic wondering, is this real or is this a trap? And look, that anxiety, it's not just in your head. It's a completely rational response to a very real threat. In India's digital economy, which is just exploding, scammers are getting more and more clever every single day. All right, so let's jump right into this digital danger zone. Just how big of a risk are we talking about here? Well, the numbers, they might actually surprise you. Yeah, that is a staggering amount of money. Now, what's wild is that the total number of fraud cases has actually gone down recently, but the amount of money being lost is still incredibly high. That tells you scammers are definitely aiming for bigger and bigger payouts.
Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because the data tells a story. Just look at this chart. You can see a huge drop in the number of incidents from one year to the next. We're talking more than a 50% drop. But, like we just saw, the financial damage is still massive. What does that mean? It means the scammers are getting way more sophisticated. They're targeting fewer people for much larger scores.
So, with this threat getting smarter, the Reserve Bank of India, the guardian of our whole financial system, had to step in. And they didn't just suggest a quick fix, they mandated a really powerful, system-wide solution. And they didn't waste any time. The RBI laid out this crystal clear timeline. It all kicked off with a big announcement in February, then they sent out the detailed instructions in April, and they set a hard deadline for every single bank to upgrade their digital front door by the end of October. No excuses. So, what's the big idea here? It all comes down to this new domain, .bank.in. The easiest way to think about it is like an official government-issued blue tick for your bank's website. If you see .bank.in at the end of the web address, you know for sure that it's the real deal. And this slide just lays out the difference perfectly. On the left, you've got the digital Wild West, .com.in, where pretty much anyone can register a website that looks convincingly real. But on the right, you have .bank.in. It's like a secure walled garden where only RBI-verified banks are even allowed to get in. Okay, so that's the rule from the RBI, but what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look at one of India's biggest digital players, JioBank, and see exactly how they put this change into action. And here it is, plain and simple. Jio went ahead and made the switch before the deadline even hit. They officially moved their entire web presence from that old address to this new, much more secure one, jiopayments.bank.in. It's simple, it's clear, and most importantly, it's official. Now, you might be thinking, okay, so what does this mean I have to do? And honestly, this is the best part. For you, the user, basically nothing important changes in your day-to-day. Your account details, your balance, your PINs, the app on your phone, it all works exactly the same. This is all about a security upgrade, not a service disruption. So how does changing a few letters in a web address really protect you? Let's unpack how this new address becomes your new digital shield, your personal digital moat against fraud. I love this analogy because it's absolutely spot on. This isn't just a new name, it's a structural barrier. Fraudsters can't just go out and create a lookalike .bank.in website. The strict verification process stops them dead in their tracks. It just makes it so much harder for them to impersonate your bank. And why is that moat so important? Well, it all comes back to this one stat. A massive 70%, 70 of online financial frauds start with a phishing attempt. A fake link in an email or a text. So this one change directly attacks the single most common weapon scammers have. So this move by Jio and by all the other banks is part of a much bigger story. It's about securing India's entire digital future. And believe it or not, you actually have a really active role to play in your own security too. So here are 4 really simple but super powerful things you can do right now. First, go update your browser bookmarks to the new .bank.in address. That way you never accidentally land on an old insecure site. Second, before you click anything, check the sender's email. Make sure it ends in .bank.in. Third, please enable two-factor authentication in your app. It is such an essential extra layer of security. And finally, just keep a close eye on your transaction alerts. They're your first line of defense. And if you're wondering why all of this matters so much, just look at this number. We are living in a digital-first India. Almost every single transaction is now digital. Building this kind of fundamental trust isn't just a nice to have. It's absolutely essential for our country's economic future. So Jio's update to .bank.in is a huge leap forward. It's building a brand new fortress around our finances for sure. But as technology evolves, you know the threats will evolve right alongside it. This move solves a major problem today, but it does leave us with a pretty important question to think about. As our world gets more and more digital, what's the next fortress we're going to need to build?